Exactly. He's trying to. It's like he tries to put in VTs, but he puts it in the other guy. And hello, everyone. Welcome to No Drama, Just Movies, and we are back this week with another review. This time, we are reviewing episode 2 of HBO's original, The Penguin. My name is Cameron, the Hangman, Kelly Smith, and I am here today with my esteemed colleague.
Damn. Um, I'm Phil, the bagel. Colin.
Did
I
you
like
say
that joke.
bagel?
The bagel. I like the joke. It was a funny joke.
It was. I actually like that. Well, I mean, we're gonna go from jokes right into Gotham. So I'm gonna hit you straight with it. Episode 1, obviously, we had pretty high praise for, I would say, probably me a little bit more than you, but we had ultimately high praise. So episode 2, I'm gonna go straight into it. Um, is Oz presented as too smart?
I don't know. It works for me for now. Like I think he's very quick on his feet, metaphorically speaking. Um, and I think like as someone who's physically not that imposing, he has to like rely on his wits. Um, so it's believable that he's quite quick and like knows how to get out of these scrapes very quickly. For now, I think it's fine. He's still getting in trouble. So he's not exactly like smart enough to get like to avoid stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's an issue for now. But you do.
Yes and no. For full transparency, I did enjoy this episode. I,
Hmm.
I did enjoy it. And whenever you have an episode of TV or a scenario where the character is avoiding these near almost death moments in these really quick, smart, witty, cool ways. It is really compelling to watch. We see that in this episode, when Oz arranges for the Maronis to intercept the Falcone's, I guess, drop run, should we say? And, he thinks very quickly on his feet, even though he's now been moved to the lead car, which he didn't want to be in initially. And then obviously you then have a later on in that episode where Sofia is bringing Luca and, well, not bringing them, but Luca and whatnot are on their way to see the guy from the Maronis who they
Hmm.
feel is going to finally give up the name of the person who killed Alberto. And, he quickly thinks on his head. So he takes the knife and puts it in, I can't remember what, that's VT, right? That's Johnny VT, I believe. He
No, he's
puts the
trying.
knife.
I think he's trying to put it in VTs, but it's
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to, it's like he tries to put in VTs, but he puts it in the other guy. And, I think I'm just intrigued. I hope that they don't push it too far, where as we go further along the season, he is always the guy who somehow is able to come up with these quick, solutions to get him out of these near death experiences. But for now, it is fun. I'll quickly say that Sophia is absolutely, for me, like as of right now, kind of stealing the show. Like, she is so compelling to watch, and I really love the idea that they are presenting her as this serial killer, right? Also, Matt Reeves obviously did a great job with that in the Batman, but presenting her that she's this serial killer. She killed what, 7 people, and she's not just this person who is just inheriting or meant to inherit the Falcone well, I guess business. She's actually someone who is quite a scary, formidable person in her own right, and I do enjoy that. But what was your thoughts overall on this episode?
it still needs to convince me a little bit. I mean, it's starting to kind of build up. I like that we get a little bit more of Sophia, that we're building her up, or they're building her up, as a like, kind of formidable antagonist. And it's starting to become that, is she going to catch him or not? And is he going to be able to evade her, and maybe bring her down, like if she like takes over the family or something. So there's definitely a build here. I'm just not sure if it builds fast enough or if there's something I'm missing.
Right. I mean, one thing that you mentioned there is that if you had to predict, is that ultimately where we're going? Like, for example, in Matt Reeves, the Batman, Matt Reeves talked about how, in this version, Selena Kyle is not Catwoman yet, Edward Nygma is not the Riddler yet, and also as well that Oswald Cobblepot is not seen as the Penguin yet, and so if this series is what is going to be used to build up from Oswald, ultimately Oswald achieving his goal of running all of this. Do you think that this is how this ends? Is this, if you had to predict, is this how this series probably ends with Oswald having probably killed Sofia, probably being the head of, I don't know how they're going to do it, but essentially being the new kingpin of Gotham?
I was thinking about it, and it is a theory I had that if it like slots into another Batman film or something, and then Penguin is one of the bad guys, basically. That this show is bridging the gap, and this is the rise of the Penguin. By the end, he's going to be a major player. So I can see that happening, and that he probably goes up against Sofia, maybe, because I'm not sure I see her uncle kind of as the big bad,
No.
not as built up as her, and that she gets more like characterization and more interesting, like chewable scenes. So I think it's like at some point she's going to take over one way or another.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing as well, because the way that they're playing it up right now is that Oz is using the Maronis as a way to take down the Falcones. And so maybe that's where we then end up with, then now the feud between the Maronis and Oz. I'm not too sure which way they go. Yeah, final thing I want to mention, obviously, before we wrap up, is you was obviously mentioning about how this could potentially play out in the Batman 2, and that was one of the things that I did question as well, like in terms of Batman setup. This show obviously is not made to set up the Batman, clearly. I do find it kind of weird though that the Batman hasn't been mentioned yet. I don't think that.
He's been mentioned as like the vigilante or something.
Yeah, but I kind of find it weird how after the events of where we left off in the Batman that he hasn't been mentioned yet. I know that we're kind of meant to be in like your year one, year two of Batman. However, I do wonder how that will play out. And you mentioned, for example, the idea of how the Penguin then becomes, if he becomes a major player moving forward. But right now, that character comes across as so cool that I always find it very interesting how they will, if he is in the Batman suit, presumably how that will work. But I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Any last words before we give it our review score this week?
I definitely liked Sofia, or like what Cristin Milioti did with her. A lot more in this one. Again, she got more to play with. But I really enjoyed like just how she played this reaction to everyone thinking that she's crazy. She
Yeah.
was steering into it when she like grabs the food and like stuffs it in her mouth
Mm.
at the funeral party for her brother. And yeah, it's kind of interesting to watch because you kind of wonder what this character can do. Like, is she going
Exactly. Mm.
completely mental and start killing people? Or is she not? And everybody's just
Mm.
expecting her to be.
Yeah. Also, as well, quick shout out as well for the scene with Oz and his mum. Really enjoyed that. Obviously, I think it
Yeah.
adds another emotional element to the show. But yeah, I'm really with you with the Sophia thing. I'm really with you. I'm so fascinated to see where they go with her. But yeah, so that will do it for our review of episode 2 of HBO Originals, The Penguin. We obviously on this channel, just like good old Oz and Vic, we love a good slush puppy, a good icy. And so we give, just like our movies, we also give our TV episodes a review, a score out of 10 on our icy scale. So episode 2 of The Penguin, how many ices out of 10 will you give this episode?
I'm gonna be kind today and just give it a half an extra, just for like the potential it has, especially like with the ending. It makes me excited for the next one. So I'd go 7.5. 7.5 ICs for this one.
Perfect. And I'm just going to go one higher. I'm going to go for 8 ICs out of 10. Really enjoyed this episode. Really look forward to see where it's going to go. So that will do it for our review of episode 2 of HBO's The Penguin. We are No Drama, Just Movies. If you like this review, if you like our content here on this channel, please subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share, do everything with just two movie and TV loving friends who love to have a good chat about everything in the world of movies, TV, and of course, Gotham. Once again, my name is Cameron the Hangman Kelly Smith, and I'm joined by my esteemed Gothamite here.
Phil the Bagel Cohen.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna go and have a bagel right now, but we're not gonna stuff our face like Sofia did. We're not too crazy. But that's right. We have been No Drama, Just Movies. Thank you so much for checking out our review, and we will see you very, very soon. Take care, guys.
Bye.